Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Srila Prabhupada ki Jai! Srila Prabhupada ki Jai! Prabhupada ki Jai! Helsinki Yatra ki Jai! Ganesh Yatra ki Jai! Helsinki Yatra ki Jai! Sankirtan Yajna ki Jai! Srila Prabhupada ki Jai! Vrindavan Kirtans, Guru Maharaj, Shri Lokanath Swami Maharaj, and today Shri Lokanath Swami Maharaj is Vyasa Puja ki Jai! Swami Maharaj, Vyasa Puja Mahamahotsava ki Jai! Maharaj, Vyasa Puja Mahamahotsava ki Jai! I think something to get off of Shri Lokanath Maharaj and satisfy Vrindavan Kirtan, and I couldn't think of anything better than having a Kirtan for the satisfaction of Lokanath Swami Maharaj, because he is really like a great emperor of Kirtan and ISKCON, and he loves Kirtan so much, and everybody in ISKCON, they love his Kirtan so much. Shri Lokanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Maharaj ki Jai! Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Swami Maharaj, he's been traveling all over the world, and he's been establishing Padyatra and festivals throughout India for so many years, walking, and Srila Prabhupada loved his bullock cart. Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Swami Maharaj ki Jai! And when he sings Kirtan in Mayapur, at the Kirtan Mela, the devotees, they go straight to the roof of the temple, looking at Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Because he has great faith in Harinam Sankirtan Yajna ki Jai! Kirtan Yajna ki Jai! And just like Bhakti Maharaj, you're reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he became so angry because the earth was not providing grains to feed the people, and the Brahmins were getting skinny. So he wanted to do Yajna. Lokanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Oh, he became so angry, he took his bow, and he was going to shoot Bhumi in the form of a cow, because the earth was not providing grains. Lokanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Lokanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai! And so Bhumi said, look, he said, listen to me. Just cool down, king. Listen to me. Those bad demons, they were like taking all the grains and storing them away, and they was becoming, now you got to bring the grains out and feed the people. Lokanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Lokanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai! So, I'm going to tell you what's in the Bhagavatam. Just listen to me. All right, folks, just listen for a few more minutes. Lokanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai! So, all these different species of life, they started like what they needed for their food, like snakes. I heard Donovan Maharaj was speaking about snakes the other day, right? Yes. Donovan Goswami Maharaj ki Jai! Oh man, he loves Harinam also. Donovan Goswami Maharaj ki Jai! Goswami Maharaj ki Jai! Goswami Maharaj ki Jai! So, he was talking about snakes the other day. How bad Kali Yuga is. So the snakes, they like formed a cow. Who did they form a cow from? Takshaka? Takshaka. They formed a cow from Takshaka, because the cow is like where the milk comes from. And they went, and who went there?
The calf was Takshaka.
The calf was Takshaka.
Bhumi was cow.
Bhumi, okay, Bhumi's the cow in every circumstance. Got it? Bhumi's the cow in every circumstance. So these snakes and scorpions, you know, like those guys that crawl over Shiva's head. Scorpions, snakes around his neck. So what they did, is this right? What they did is they went to Bhumi and they started like milking Bhumi, and they got what they needed to eat through the performance of Yajna, right? Yes. Right? What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? He says, Anaj Bhavati Bhutani, right? He says, 4 grains are needed. He said, you don't need motor cars. You don't need boats. You don't need computers. You don't need all this junk. You need grains. Because all living beings subsist on food grains, right? You can't eat your computer. Like Shivaram Swami Maharaj, he told me that his mother told him that during World War II, everybody, you know, when those bad guys came to Budapest, we don't want to say their name, you know, from that country. That guy.
Okay.
So they went to Budapest. No one had anything to eat. No one had anything to eat.
So all the rich people, they've been working hard, saving money and all that sort of stuff. They took big stacks of money like this to the farmers outside the city. Did they do it here also? They took money to the farmers outside the city. They said, please give us potatoes. Please sell us pumpkin. And you know what the farmers told them? The farmers said, eat your money. Eat your money. You can't eat money. You can't eat cars. Sachi, what are you doing, boy? You're acting wacky over there. You need grains. So all these different species of life, they were going, and they were like approaching the cow, Bhumi, and she was giving what they needed to eat. So you see, like all the time, Jagya's got to go on. And in Kali Yuga, the Lord comes in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Is that right, Ashwahari? Yes, sir. This is what Kirtan does to you, Bhaiya. So the Lord comes as Lord Chaitanya, and he teaches everybody how to perform Jagya. And that Jagya is what we did this morning. Chanting and dancing. Chanting and dancing. Chanting. And so just like, you know, they were going to like Bhumi, like snake and taking out what they needed. We need Harinam. We need Bhagavatam. We need to hear Krishna Katha. We need to hear, Mahajis, we need to hear about Krishna. You know why? Because if you just, like if you're like an askez, like a real ascetic, like old Abhi Chandra, you know, you don't eat anything, you don't sleep, you grow your whiskers, you run around naked all the time even when it's cold. You know, it's like Lord Chaitanya tells Sanatana Goswami, you know, after he finishes explaining the Kama Gayatri mantra to him, you know, he just, like Lord Chaitanya, first he started speaking about, you know, the opulence of Krishna, and he started speaking about, you know, Brahma, when all those, like, you know, when Brahma saw all those forms come out of Krishna and go back in, and Brahma said, he said, oh, Bap, Bap. Some people may say that they know everything about Krishna. I like to say, I don't know anything about Krishna. So that's like the opulence of Krishna. And then Lord Chaitanya started describing the sweetness of Krishna. And when he started describing the sweetness of Krishna, he started like describing the Kama Gayatri mantra. And he just like, oh, he got into it, right? He really got into it. He would say, Krishna is like so beautiful, his whole body is beautiful. And like the most beautiful thing on Krishna is his face. And the most beautiful thing on Krishna, the sweetest thing on Krishna, are his lips. And he said Krishna's lips, they're just like, he said his enigmatic smile. Krishna's got this smile that just drives everybody crazy. And his lips, is that right, Sachin? And his lips are sweet, just like, no, Bimba's red. It's sweet. Bhaiya, stand up! We're not finished dancing yet. Good morning! How are you? Good. So you know, Krishna's lips are sweet just like honey, like fresh honey. Like very sweet, fresh honey. And then you know what camphor is? No. Camphor is like this very cooling stuff. Yeah. So you sprinkle camphor on top of those sweet lips, so you have a combination of sweet and cool. So that's what Krishna's lips are like. So Lord Chaitanya is describing all these different things. And then Lord Chaitanya's like, he just takes off when he's describing Krishna's beauty. And he starts saying like, you know, Krishna, like, he says the beauty of Krishna is like 24 and a half full moons. And he says his, like his eyes are moons, and his cheeks are moons, and his forehead is half moon, and his like fingernails are moon, and his toenails are moon. Just think, like if you had, like the moon is beautiful, right, Bhaiya? Yeah. If you had 24 and a half moons, you'd go, oh Lord Jesus, how beautiful that is. So the moon is like really, really beautiful. 24 and a half moons. He said, that's how beautiful Krishna is. And he started saying all sorts of things like his teeth are like some row of white ducks or something like that. And the peacock feather in his head is just like a rainbow. And Lord Chaitanya was really just like, he was really just describing Krishna, and he was getting swept away with the waves of ecstasy. And then when he stopped, he looked at Sanatana Goswami. You know what he said? He said, "Don't tell anyone that I said all these things." He said, "I meant to say one thing. I got distracted, and I started saying all these other things." He said, "I've been speaking like a madman." And then he looked at Sanatana, and he said, "You know, Sanatana," he said, "guys like, he's a pure devotee. You know, like the non-devotee people, they like to eat a lot of grains, right? And, you know, and they get big and stout and strong by eating grains. Is that right? Yeah. Big and stout and strong. And if they stop eating the grains, what happens to them? Then they become skinny like this guy. You know? You get all shriveled up, you know, just, you know, running on transcendental energy, you know, like the Abhidutta Chandra. So they got to eat the grains, and then they're healthy, and if they don't eat, then they get all skinny. He said, in the same way, the devotees, they eat Harinam. And the devotees, they eat Krishna Katha. And the devotees, they hear about Krishna. And if they do that, they become fatty and strong in bhakti. And if they don't hear Krishna Katha, they don't hear Srimad Bhagavatam, if they don't awaken their spontaneous love for Krishna, then the effect is they'll shrivel up and they'll become very weak and they'll fall away. So Lord Chaitanya, he came down here, you know, and he was teaching how to perform this yajna of Harinam. And then all the acharyas, they understood that. Because Lord Chaitanya, he like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says that, what's it say in Adi 4? I think it's Adi 4. I think it's Adi 4. You know, it says that Krishna was thinking, you know, all these people, they want material enjoyment because they think that's going to make them happy. But Krishna says, Ami Bhigya, I'm smarter than they are. And Ami Bhigya, I know more than they do. So what I'll do is I'll come down and I will satisfy them in a way that they'll never ask for it again. So Krishna came down here and he performed his beautiful Leela to attract the minds of everybody in the world so that everybody would just be talking about it eternally thereafter. And then they would get attracted to Krishna. So it's like, and Krishna says, what does he say? He says that if people just come to me and they worship me like this, that doesn't capture my heart. They have to worship me with spontaneous love. So then he came again as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one, to perform Harinam Sankirtan Yajna, but to teach us how to love Krishna with that spontaneous love. And worshiping Krishna with the spontaneous love comes through the performance of Harinam Sankirtan Yajna. So chanting, what we did this morning, you have to chant and dance. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Is that right, Saji? Saji, sit over there. Oh, sorry, camera. Saji, sit over there. He's going, God, what more I smoked this morning? No, I'm just enlivened to have your association, you know, and thanking the Lokanath Swami Maharaj on this Vyasa Puja Day. Because he has like done this Harinam all over the earth planet, you you know? This jagya to satisfy the Lord and at the same time inducing people to awaken their spontaneous love for Krishna. All over the earth planet, just like Srila Prabhupada, all over the earth planet, you know, to satisfy the Lord's performance of jagya and induce people to awaken the love for Krishna. Is that right, Mataji? To awaken the love for Krishna. Hare Krishna! Naho! So this is Lokanath Swami Maharaj. This is Vyasa Puja Day. Vrindavan Kirtan is his disciple. And Vrindavan Kirtan, you know how old this guy is? He's 21. And already he's been traveling around the world for the past 5 or 6 years, just doing Harinam, joining Harinam parties. That's it. Just going, Harinam Sankirtan, you know. It's like, people like this, we always like look externally, right? We always look at people from the external perspective. But we shouldn't look that way. We think, who are these people? You know, just like these youngsters, like all of you people. Who are you people? You know, taking birth in this world, you know, wasting a few years in the world, coming in contact with Krishna through the grace of your spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, and then dedicating your lives for the performance of jagya and preaching Krishna consciousness to induce people to awaken their spontaneous love for Krishna, because that's really the only type of love that really gets Krishna. And so it's like, you think, oh gosh, I'm over here and I'm washing pots in the temple, or I'm cleaning deities, or I'm washing the floor, or I'm making samosas to pay for the manor. You know, you think all these different things, but what are you really doing? You're performing Harinam Sankirtan Jagya, and you're touching all these souls and inducing them to awaken their spontaneous love for Krishna. And that really causes Krishna to give you so much mercy. What does it say in Bhagavad Gita? He says, the one who is the most priya to me, the one who is most dear to me is the preacher. And you folks, all of you, taken up Krishna consciousness here, been here for so many years. My Lord, Bhaktivinoda Prabhu, he told me you became devotee when? 1988. I mean, that's a long time. Yeah, that's a long time. How long have you been around Sadhumar?
In 2003.
2003. Prabhuji? Tapu Digyam?
2000.
2000. And who are any other old timers here? Anyone around? Mataji, how long have you been here?
I joined the end of 86.
86. Wow. That's a long time ago. Prabhuji, how long have you been here?
84.
So,
94.
so long here, you know.
Achamira from 78.
Who?
He was here just a moment ago.
Oh, that gentleman with the pants on.
Yeah.
Ah,
78.
78. Are you serious? Oh Lord, he just like manifest, you know, after Srila Prabhupada unmanifest. Wow. That's incredible. And a whole life just given to Krishna, performance of jagya, you know, for the sake of like getting that milk out to induce people to awaken their spontaneous love for Krishna. You know, because nothing else gets Krishna. You know, Krishna, he says, you know, like the words of the people in Vaikuntha and Ayodhya, Mathura, that doesn't capture my heart, because, you know, even in transcendence, there's all these different, you know, there's variatedness. Like, what did Lord Chaitanya say? He says, perfect, more perfect, most perfect. So, I mean, love is love. We can't differentiate amongst love. I mean, if people in Vaikuntha, they're loving the Lord, you know, that's pure love. But the love of Krishna's friends in Goloka Vrindavan, that's most embellished with the highest form of qualities and transcendental taste. And that's what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us through the performance of Harinam Sankirtan Yajna. And His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj, just whole life since he was young man, joined whole life, you know. How many years now, Vrindavan? 45 years? At 66 years old. Just like young Indian gentleman, got Prabhupada's mercy, rest of life, you know, serving his divine grace and spreading Prabhupada's grace, Lord Chaitanya's grace throughout the entire world. So, Yajna must be there. When Yajna is there, the Lord will be satisfied. When the Lord is satisfied, naturally, we'll be satisfied. But this Yajna, this Harinam Yajna, which is meant for Kali Yuga, is the Mahayajna. And this Mahayajna is meant for pleasing the Lord, but awakening that love for Krishna, his associates in Goloka Vrindavan feel for him. So that's like we say that, who is it, Lokanath Thakur? Golokera Premadan, or is that, no. Golokera Premadan, Harinam Sankirtan, the greatest gift of divine love, and all divine love of Goloka Vrindavan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given in Harinam Sankirtan Yajna. So we have to be, like today we had great priests in our Yajna, you know, they were like Kinchana chanting mantras and Vrindavan, you know, pouring ghee and sachi, you know, pouring grains, and we were all like throwing grains in the Yajna and the sacrifice through chanting and through dancing. And the two things should be there, chanting and dancing. Krishna Kirtana Gana Artana Paro Primamitam Boniti. Those Swami's first description, they were always chanting and dancing. And that was their nature. Always chanting, always dancing, and they were always just deep inside of the ocean of love for Krishna. Shri Lokanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Lokanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Lokanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai! Lokanath Swami Maharaj Vyasapuri Mahamahotsava ki Jai! His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai! Bhavan Srila Prabhupada ki Jai! Helsinki Yatra ki Jai! Helsinki Yatra ki Jai! Shri Gornitai ki Jai! Gornitai ki Jai! All the dancing Vaishnavas ki Jai! All the chanting Vaishnavas ki Jai! Nitai Go Premanande! Hari Hari Nitai Go Premanande! Hari Hari Nitai Go Premanande! Hari Hari I'll tell you one thing about this Dhanabir Goswami Maharaj. I haven't associated much with him in my life, but I was like in Vrindavan in 83 till 84, and I came back in 84, and I went up to a place in England called Chaitanya College, and I don't know if Dhanabir Maharaj had just come over from America. No, he was leading the Bhakti program, I think, in the UK. And Chaitanya College is in the middle of nowhere. It was beautiful though. It was like, it was such a beautiful, like aristocratic estate. It was so beautiful. And the English yatra was making a lot of bhaktas, and Dhanabir Maharaj was like training them all up. And I used to see him. He was so dedicated to Harinam. Even though there's no one out there, every afternoon, take the bhaktas on Harinam. And they just like walk around Chaitanya College doing Harinam and just, you know, singing to the trees and singing to the grass. And such a taste for chanting. And yeah, another, you know, great soul. Just how many years has he been devotee now? Maharaj.
Since 70.
70. So that's like, how long? 46 years? No, 45.
45.
45 years. 45 years. 45 years. Just performance of Jagya. Sacrifice. But what type of sacrifice? Tapo Divyam. You know, divine austerity, divine sacrifice. You know that verse that his name is taken from? It's the Lord in his form of Rishabdev, and he's instructing his 100 sons. And he's saying, boys, look. What does he say? He says, don't use your life for trying to find pleasure like dogs and hogs. I was listening to Prabhupada talking about this verse the other day. He said hog's pleasure is eat stool and become really fatty and stout and strong, and then indiscriminate, unrestricted sex. Sex with mother, sex with daughter, sex with sister, you know, just eating rubbish, doing sex. He said, boys, don't use your life for that. Don't use your life for that sort of stuff. Rather, po divyam. And he says, by performance of divine tapasya, by dedicating your life to the cultivation of the activities of Krishna consciousness, then you enter into eternal life. And you taste, he says, Brahma Sotyam, right? You taste divine joy, you taste divine happiness. Tapo Vidyam, transcendental tapasya, spiritual tapasya. 45 years, Dandavira Maharaj, just Tapo Vidyam. Yeah. Transcendental Lokanath Swami Maharaj. That's like the touch of his divine grace, Srila Prabhupada. You know, and that's Prabhupada's mercy on all of us also. Through his disciples, you know, Prabhupada just keeps spreading the ocean of nectar of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dandavira Goswami Maharaj ki
Jai!
Dandavira Goswami Maharaj ki
Jai!
Swami Maharaj ki
Jai!
Prabhupada ki
Jai!
Nitai Gopranande
Hari Hari Bol!
Nitai Gopranande
Hari Hari Bol!
Nitai Gopranande
Hari Hari Bol! His Holiness.
Jai! His Holiness Bhakti Bhringa Govinda Swami Maharaj ki
Jai!
His Bhakti Bhringa Govinda Swami Maharaj ki
Jai!